Right guys, so I did have plans for some fun videos with the Turbo Slk. I may be able to edit a bit of a clip in, so we'll see. If there isn't a clip in here somewhere, then obviously I didn't. Now, what I was going to do is we got this fantastic manifold from a good friend who at this point in time wishes not to be named, so I'll respect that for now. But as soon as I get the okay to mention who made this, I will let you know. Because he did a fantastic job of it. It's a beautiful manifold. Now we were going to fit it on this, but if I put this right here, and this flange is going to run straight into the strut tower, so that isn't going to work. So we are going to have to stick with the old log style manifold. Please like and subscribe. More for the other content than this particular video, in all honesty. So the thing is, I've planned to show off the tubular manifold we got for the Slk, but it was a long shot it fitting anyway, because it was actually designed for a 190, and we all know they're two totally different platforms. The Slk isn't even loosely based on a 190, it's loosely based on a 202. So obviously with them being two different platforms, inevitably the flange ran straight into the strut tower. But we've got some sort of sad news, and that is that we've decided to go down the route of breaking the Turbo Slk. Now, that isn't something we wanted to do. That was never something we wanted to do. But it being an R170, we all know what they're like. So, there's a lot more issues than just the repetitive explosion in the engine. The constant head gasket issues that we keep having. And now, we keep having the head gasket issues because, one, we're cramming 1 bar plus into a stock motor with a GT35 turbo, which is just way too big. It's too big. Something sensible like a T28 would do fine for one of them engines, especially in stock form. I mean, we've all got to be realistic in what's capable from a stock engine, what a stock engine is capable of. And especially with sort of a fibre head gasket. Now, if you've got an MLS head gasket and ARP studs, the engine could do way more than 300 on stock. Right, so what's that mean? Well, for now, it means there's not going to be any real turbo project on the channel. I've got plans mulling around for one, and those of you that watch this that do speak to me outside of this know vaguely what those plans might be, and they involve a certain 6-cylinder variant of the M111. So the Slk will be going, but it will be getting replaced with a normal Slk. It'll either be a 320 or it'll be a 200-230 compressor facelift. I'm still keeping the Slk, but what this will actually mean is a bit more diverse content. So overall, you'll be getting pre-M111 Evo. Really? You'll be getting M111 Evo and M111 Evo content, as well as, fingers crossed, really, as well as, fingers crossed, some M104 content with some turbo goodness attached. But we'll just have to wait and see. The whole reason that Right, I'm vaguely at war with a cockerel at the minute. Seriously, it's just right. Let me go back over there. Right. So I've moved away from the cockerel, but it'll probably still keep going in the background. But I want you guys to hear me, not him going for it. So the whole problem with the SLK is there's a lot more to fix than just the repetitive head gasket issues. So we're just going to start afresh. So new SLK, because all the issues with that are just, we've already fixed most of the typical SLK issues on that car. I'm kind of fed up of fixing it now. No matter what you do, it just doesn't seem to work on that particular car. So start again. It was a cheap one to start with, so you've got to expect these things. So we're starting again there. We're not going to have a Turbo M111 for the minute because of finances. And those of you that know, if you want to do this properly, it costs a lot of money. Something of which me and Ben haven't got at the minute. So we're just being realistic with it. We're going to use the SLK, part it out. So the turbo manifold and that will be available on eBay at some point. And I'll probably put a link in the description when it's on there. It's not a pretty manifold, but it does the job. It works. And given the space in an SLK, if that's what you want to put it in, a log manifold is about the only type that will fit in an SLK and give you the clearance needed to still be able to run a downpipe and get the turbo in the engine bay. Obviously we've had a TO4E and a GT35 on that manifold, and there's plenty of clearance for it under the bonnet of an SLK. But that said, if you plan to turbo one of these cars, you're far better to use a manual because it's just a lot less complicated where the engine management is concerned. Obviously, if you go auto, you've either got to switch to a hydraulic box, which isn't that hard, or get an off-gear controller, which so far we've had no luck with. No luck at all. It still stalls out when you try and put it in from park and reverse and park to drive. And whatever, so it doesn't work for us. That's why whenever I get my hands on an M104, it will be with a hydraulic gearbox. So it's old school, it's not great, but it will work. So that's just an update for you guys. I've been super quiet lately, and I've just had too much going on to get anything done. Obviously the brake issue, still working on that. I've still been trying to get those other ones apart, but they are not budging. Right, so that's it for now. I mean, it's not the best update, but ultimately it can be positive as well because it's bringing some more diverse content, being able to bring M111 Evo engines into the equation as well. Me and Ben are going to learn a lot more from that, because what we know about the M111 Evo engines is from reading and not through actual hands-on experience. So that will be good for us, and it will be good for you guys as well, because we'll learn the faults of the Evo engine along the way as well. So yes, it's sad that the Turbo M111 will be going away, but we're still going to keep the content coming. It's going to be more diverse, and obviously, even though the channel's called M111, we're still going to be doing the M111 stuff, but we're going to also do the other sort of 90s Mercedes engines as well. Obviously, like the M104, the M112, and hopefully the M113 as well. Though they're not so much 90s engines, more early 2000s. I say that, they came in like 1998, I think. I think the channel should be about everything to do with that sort of era of Mercedes anyway, and ultimately tuning guides to them as well, but that's long term. So for now, guys, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, even though it's not much of a video, but check out the other content. Really appreciate it. Really want to see the channel grow. and sorry I've been so quiet, but we'll see you in the next one.